What's up, guys? Tyler at RC Madness. I got a little bit different of a video for you guys today. I want to try it out. So most of you guys know I work at the hobby shop. Aside from doing projects and unboxing videos and stuff like that you guys see the fun stuff. I want to do a little video of what I kind of do on a regular basis as well, which is working in the store and repairing cars and that sort of stuff. So today I got a customer's truck here. He brought it in, needs to be repaired. Figured I'd do a little video, guys. It's not so much a how-to video, more of just checking out and see what it's like. I actually haven't fixed this part before, so you're gonna watch me do it for the first time there, but for you guys got it at home, one to follow along or whatever. I just kind of want to show you guys what comes through the door on a regular basis and kind of, you know, how it works and stuff like that. So I'm just going to repair it and maybe talk a little bit, show you guys what I got here. This came in the other day. It's a TRX-4. I'm going to pan the camera down so you guys can see a little better. You don't need to see me. Alright, so we got a TRX-4 there we go, with a broken axle. So this guy actually is running a Valenian setup in it with a big 3-cell battery. Actually got a huge bumper on the front that he made and a wheelie bar on the back. So he's kind of doing more bajaing with his truck than scaling, which is cool. But anyway, the front here, this is what we're fixing today. Right, a pretty mangled front axle on this thing. The drive shaft's actually stuck in the shock there. There we go. So yeah, the axle housing's busted there, and the drive shaft flung off. So that's what we're gonna be working on. I try to do a little bit step by step, but like I said, it's actually the first time I've changed the housing on one of these, so I can't say it's gonna be a how-to, but we'll see what happens. So let's get right into it. Try to keep you guys with the best angle here. First, I'm going to go ahead and just take the wheels off. I usually take the wheels off most things when I'm working on them, just get them out of the way. It's only one bolt generally. May do a little editing, a little speeding up, but we'll see how it goes. Might be some weird angles and wrenching here. I'm just trying to give you guys a good angle at the same time, so might fumble a little bit. Well, we'll see how this video goes. If you guys like it, I don't mind showing you guys all the kind of random repairs I do. Nitro, electric, gas. I really work on pretty much everything. So I do use my DeWalt 1/4-inch drill. DeWalt doesn't sponsor me, but maybe in the future. Love their stuff. I'm also using MIP drivers. Shout out to MIP, awesome stuff. Can't recommend them enough. Using their 1/4-inch drives. And they got a couple associated nut drivers here. MIP makes nut drivers too. I have those up at the counter. I just brought these for the video. And a pair of pliers. So let's go ahead and dig into it here. So this has got the locking dips. So I don't know what kind of a challenge that's gonna pose. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this section apart here. I gotta get the rest of this off. Just a couple screws here. This off. Got some dirt shoved in the screw holes here, so I usually just take a smaller wrench and just twist it in there and dig the dirt out of the screw. This happens pretty regularly. If you can get like a little pick or something, those help as well. Pull this off. Bushings in there. So this has some bushings in it. I gotta get this piece off the knuckle here. Looks like it's got some screws in the inside there. Undo those. Make sure you guys keep the screws separate here. These had little bushings that came out, so make sure you keep an eye on those. So it's got those 3 screws to hold it in. It slides in like that, so go ahead and open up the axle here. I like to put it back together at the same time as taking it apart, so not so much of a memory game with all the screws. This goes back on this way. Looks like keyed. You can only put that one way, it looks like. Oh, this side, that's why. That just slides on. It's got a keyed in it. Put those back in. Drill's nice. It's got a clutch on it, so you help you prevent from stripping screws out. So if you guys end up getting drill, I'd recommend getting one with a clutch. So that's that. I'm just gonna leave that aside for now because the drive shaft's got a key in it that lines up with the diff, so we're gonna keep that aside. Just gonna start slowly taking pieces off of this. Take this drive out. This guy does run in the water a bit, so it's a bit rusty, so things aren't gonna exactly fall right off. That's the thing about running them in water, guys, is it's fun, but make sure you just do the maintenance afterwards. Otherwise you get a bunch of rusty screws and not so much fun to fix. Ooh, looks like we got a blown bearing here too. That's a whole bunch of pieces, so we're gonna have to change the bearing there. Pieces all. I'm gonna go ahead and take off this other link. See if we can't get the axle by itself here. Long screw, that's where the drill comes in handy. Take out those long ones. Take the link off here, so the link disconnected. Broke here, so I'm gonna take that one out too. Put those long ones aside, so I get the shocks and the links hanging off here. Let's get them out the way. So we got the axle. I'm gonna disconnect the steering here. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave the steering. I'm gonna leave the steering on now. I'm just gonna take out the knuckle because I'm gonna have to take it off anyway. Watch out for those bushings. Pull that out with the drive shaft. Now we got the bolt ends hanging out here. Try to keep you guys in the camera. Oops, sorry about that. Alright. So we got basically the housing right here. So we just gotta disconnect the link from the back side. That screw side. Try to keep the screws separate. If you can put them back in, I'd recommend putting them back in. This particular part we're changing out that whole case, so there's no point in putting it back in. So we just got the basically the cable for the diff here. Guys in here a little better. The cable for the diff. This has got an E-clip on it there. I've never taken these off before, to be honest. Let's see here. Pop this E-clip off. Now watch out for them E-clips, man. They get you every time. Doesn't really seem to do much, so I'm just gonna keep taking this apart and pull the diff and stuff out and see what happens. We got those 3 screws that hold the knuckle on. again, we got some dirt packed in the screw there, so take the smaller run, dig it out. You guys got an air gun or anything like that, it definitely helps. Alright, so that's out. This side. Okay, so we got this, got a bunch of screws here. So take out this link mount, it looks like. I got that link mount piece, so I'm going to take that off and just put it right back on the new one here. That was the link mount piece right here. A couple screws in that. Keep going. Looks like we got 4 screws in this piece. I don't know if you guys can see that. 4 screws in the diff housing. Take those out. Long ones. It's long screws. Side. The diff cover comes off with those 4 screws. I'm gonna keep that with the screws. Oh boy, we got a lot going on in this diff here. The gears itself looks good, but this puppy hasn't been greased since day 1. Look at that in there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but bearings look a little rough. Grease looks, well, hasn't been greased in a while. I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling this apart. So we got a fork in here for the diff lockers. You can pop that out. So that's what the cable is connected to, which I'm gonna have to pull off. It's like hooks around this piece. Let's see, how does this come out? It might be rusted, I don't know. Pull this. Alright, I'm gonna leave the cable in there for now. So I can't pop the diff out. Give me a little more room to work. There it is. Got a little beat with those bearings. Yeah. Gonna have to give a little love to that. And oop, should be able to pop the pinion gear right out there. There's that blown bearing. We're gonna have to go grab a couple bearings too. I didn't grab those. There's a bearing there. It's all messed up. Oh, there it goes. I'm actually gonna keep that aside. I need to go look at the size of that. Looks like 5x11. It's got 2 bearings in here, one in, one out. You have to pop them both out. This one don't want to come out. Sometimes they like to play hardball. So I just give them a little tap. There she goes. Won't be afraid to get a little aggressive with it. Like I said, this puppy's been in the water, so it's usually a little rusty. Alright, so now we just got the cable here. Okay, gotta pull it through the other way. Like I said, guys, it's just the first time I worked on this, so I haven't had to take these cables off before, but it looks like you gotta pull them through the other direction. So I don't know whoever's watching done it before, forgive me. Okay, now we got that out. Flip it back over here. I got everything dangling. Okay, so now we got the case out with the cable. Let's see what happens if I pull it through this way. Yeah. So hold this with the pliers. See if, eyelet's threaded on here in the end. I'm just unscrewing that. Okay. And then pull the cable through. There we go. Got a naked case and where it was broken. There's the old one, and there's the new one. Maybe we already bolted the knuckle on it, but. All right, so I'm gonna just put this cable right back through while I still remember how to do it. We go this way. It's like that, and then I'm gonna thread that piece back on. So we have officially started the reassembly. Alright, we got that in there. I'm gonna have to pause you guys. Well, won't look like a pause for you, but I'm gonna have to go grab some of these bearings and some cleaner because this diff is rough. So I'm gonna go grab some grease and bearings and clean this puppy up. I don't want to put it back in looking like that. It's pretty rough. So I will be back. Alright guys, I'm back. I just cleaned up the bearings a bit. Grabbed some new ones. I cleaned some of the older ones because I didn't have the proper size. Basically I just spray them out with electrical motor cleaner. It's basically just compressed alcohol. I sprayed out the diff too, so you can see it cleaned it up a little. I had to use the reuse the bigger bearing here. I didn't have that one, but we got new bearings on the end. Got a couple new bearings. I already put them in here. Bearing in there, new bearing in there for the pinion, because that one was blown out. Yeah, so I just spray those out with the alcohol and then re-put bearing oil back in them and put the rubber seal back on. You can just take the rubber seal out with the X-Acto knife. Then I'm going to be using the TLR Great Grease to re-grease the ring and pinion. Been using this stuff for a little while. It works pretty good. A little stickier than regular black grease, so I prefer that. It seems to last a little longer. And then I grabbed this too while I was down there. Exploded view. Definitely doesn't hurt to have on hand. Like I said, this is pretty much the first time I've gone this far into fixing the axle, so it doesn't hurt to have that on hand. So we're gonna go ahead and start reassembling it. So I went ahead and put those bearings already in the axle, make sure I grab the right sizes. I'm gonna go throw the pinion back in. It just slides in through the front. Actually slides in all the way, shouldn't be any play. The differential, it only goes in pretty much one direction. Make sure it spins. I like to make sure it doesn't bind up or anything. Feels pretty good. Now we gotta put that shift fork back in. This part I'm a little unsure about because I haven't done that. All right guys, it took me a second to get the shift fork working right. So you gotta make sure you put the little hook on the end in the right direction. So that exploded view came in handy. I had to check that out real quick. But we're working good now. Should move pretty free. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some grease in this. I didn't pop this open yet. Okay, got grease. I just go around. I'm gonna grease this one pretty good because this guy likes going in the water, so I'm just gonna put it all over the place and keep some of the rust off of this thing. And make sure to grease up that shift fork pretty good too. You get right around the bearing too. I'm just gonna pack it in there. Try to keep the corrosion down. Not being scared with it today. There we go. Let's get it in there. So I was telling you about that gray grease stuff. It's a lot stickier than I don't know if you guys can see the stringiness. So hopefully it sticks to the gears a little better. But I just grease that real good. Give that a good spin. Make sure we got good coverage. Looks good to me. Greased up. Alright, so we're gonna start reassembly here. Throw this cover back on so I don't get grease all over myself. And yeah, whenever I put the covers back on, I always make sure that they still spin good too. You never know. Sometimes things will fit, and then you put a bearing in or a cover on, and it pinches a bearing or something like that. So just want to get it all back together, and come to find out, it's not right. Drill. Shift cable kind of working against me here a little bit. Alright, we got the cover on. Get the other bits put on here. Make sure we got nothing left on this thing. And we're good. Alright, reorganize here. Truck back in. Alright, see if we can't get this thing back in. I think there's still one more piece we had to take off of here. I guess not. I thought there was. Oh yeah, there it is. This piece here. This is part of the panhard. Goes on top of the axle here. I guess we can leave it for now. We'll do that after. Alright, so we go this direction. This feeds up through. Forget about that shift cable feeding up along the motor there. And I'm going to slide these halves on. Oh, excuse me, I gotta put this guy back on. Almost forgot about him. Those three, they look like 2.5 millimeter countersunk screws. And these got those bushings in them too, so don't forget about those. Slide these in. Oh, I'm gonna put a little grease in there too. This guy's got grease this up on too. Why not? Grease didn't hurt. Probably would have been better to clean it first, but slide those in. Those are keyed, so you gotta spin the drive shaft to get it to go in. I'm gonna slide these bushings in. Screw the knuckles back on. Okay, a little grease on this side too. A little grease in the joints. Grease on the shaft end. Slide in the diff a little easier. See if I can get this in. Steering might work against me here. I think we're gonna have to disconnect it. Yeah. I have to disconnect the steering here to get the other shaft in. No big deal. Just try not to get it too disoriented here. Perfect. that's that side. I'm gonna hook that steering back up before I forget where it goes. There we go. Alright, so we got the front axle pretty much back together. It's basically just going to be hooking up the links and the shocks, and then I got to do the drive shaft because that flung off too. So this link goes here. I don't really know which order is the best here. Start with this one here. Why not? That's the top link I'm just hooking up right now. Okay, then these links. I'll get my shift cable tangled up in that. So just leave that out here. Okay, done. Okay, so. Oh man. Well, it looks like I'm missing a part here. I'm gonna have to go see if I can find it. The other mount for the upper link, or I guess the lower links, is not on there, and it's broken off our old one. So I'm gonna go try to find that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this side back together while we're at it here. The shock and the link go in the same hole. The link goes in, and the shock on the outside. There's that one long screw. So I'm gonna do that. There was another piece on here as well I want to check out. Right here, our panhard link. I think it broke a shock tower off of that. Pop that off real quick. What was that? Cracked off there. So I have to go get that piece. That's where my explosive is gonna come in handy there, so I can figure out what part number I gotta go grab. Yeah. That's what we got so far. Alright, so I'm gonna go try to get that other link mount and that other piece I need. I'll be back. Alright guys, went and grabbed my new piece. It's just the mount for the panhard. This one snapped all the screws off, so there's no center where to screw it on. So the screws are gone too, so I didn't grab new screws. A little bit of everything going on with this truck. It's got 2 screws in that. Put that back on. Okay, that was the link mount, so I'm gonna pop the link off. I gotta go this way. So you guys can't see this, a little tricky here. The other link's in the way. I'm gonna have to flip it around. You guys can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just attaching the, this is the panhard bar to that link at the top. There you go. And I'm gonna put it back on the shock tower link, or mount area. Okay, mount this back up. The shock mount and the link, maybe. wheels there. The last mount, of course. The shock is putting load on it. Try to put it in the hole in the shock first. There we go. Line them up. There we go. We're not binding up or anything. That's a little rough, but that's just the spring there. Came off the shock perch. So there we go. She's all on there. Link back up. Make sure we got good articulation, no binding. It's easy to put these links on wrong. But everything seems to be working good. Alright, so there we have it. So before we do the shaft, I'm going to go ahead and hook back up that shift linkage there. Just have that one screw. Pops onto the ball. Careful with this here, I don't want to push on that too much. Servo savers ain't terribly strong on these. Pliers. It's got this little plastic groove on it here. I don't know if you can see that. Kind of fits into that slot. So with the screw pinches, so the cable doesn't flap about instead of shifting or locking. Keep saying shifting, but you know what I mean. Don't have to crank that one down too much. Just holds it in place. All right, so we're all hooked up there. Roll it back over. I'm gonna do the shaft. I cheated a little bit today. There it is. I have a whole drive shaft off of one of the projects I did. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put the whole shaft in there because this one is looking pretty rusty and pretty played out. So just do them solid here. And that one's still functional, but it's seen better days. So we're gonna hook this one back up. Not hard to put some Loctite on these either. It's already still got a little bit left on them, so I'm not gonna sweat it too much. The front one. Have to spin these a little bit, make them line up. It'll make them line up with the hole on there, as these go pin screw, so just got to spin the axle around and get it all to line up and send it in. Not too bad. Give those a good crank, don't have to kill them. And we are back together. That is 100%. So we just changed out the case on that, all new. Grease, bearings, a whole lot. Got all the broken bits. Keep those and give them back to them. Go ahead and fire these tires back on. And while I'm doing that, I'll talk a little bit. So if you guys like this kind of video, let me know. I'll do some more. I get all kinds of random repairs in here. I don't mind sharing them. You guys can see what's like repairing cars for people in the hobby shop. This was a pretty decent one with broken axle and stuff, but I do nitro and gas and all that stuff too. Servos, speed controls, you name it, and I'll fix it. Like I said, I've never even done that one, so that's the first time I did it. So I just want you guys to see that, because you just can't be scared to fix this kind of stuff. It's the worst that could happen. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Pan you up here so you can see me a little. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you guys want to see more videos like this, or if you don't want to see more videos like this, well, let me know. Remember, it wasn't really a how-to, it was more of a just kind of doing it with you. So take it for what it is. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.